had the best stats at the major, and it's just talking about his team is pretty crazy, right? Almost every single player, you've got something, like a big headline to talk about them. And Flusher as well, one of the best P90 users in the world, which is actually quite entertaining to watch as well. I like to watch that sometimes.
And what you really have to admire with these boys is the fact how much time they actually spend playing Counter-Strike. You can just tell they're still young and they're still hungry. They're not getting filled up, even if they're winning championships left and right. They're still putting so much time and effort into Counter-Strike and just enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the core three for me right now is Flusher, JW, and Olofmeister, just of the recent performances. But like you said, there's a headline for all of them. Let's switch gears a little bit, though. If those are the champions, these are the challengers. We'll look at Mousesports' lineup, who have to come in and fight from a map behind. Next, Dennis, Nico, who was absolutely nuts last night, Chris J, and Gobby.
So, next, a player we love to talk about, really fun to watch right now. One of the upcoming riflers in the world, I'd say. Hasn't really been part of the CSGO world-class scene for too long, but definitely been around the German scene for a while. But now everyone's starting to realize how good he is. We saw him drop 39 frags earlier this week, and almost every single night he seems to be performing. Dennis, we talked about him picking up the AWP role once Chris J lost his confidence, but no, he's actually returned back to Rifler, and actually is playing very decently right now as well. Like you said, Nicolino, the latest pickup for the team, was actually within them in the last 6 months, but got dropped, moved back into the substitute role due to language issues and stuff like that, and we've seen him play for Kinguin, SK Gaming, at some big events. But he's back now, and oh my God, is he back. If you watched the games last night, 103 frags, I think it was yesterday.
113, I think.
113 frags.
What's the last time you've heard someone get three digits on over four maps?
Yeah, that's insane.
It's incredible performance and one of my favorite games to watch and cast of all time, I think, just based on watching him play and the entrance kills he was providing. Chris J, I briefly mentioned him before, one of the AWP player from Mousesports who was actually brought up whether he'd still be AWPing going forward. Maybe lost his confidence after the major, but after the last couple of days, it seems like he's back. Another AWPer similar to JW, I'd say, he's not really traditional. He'll hold a lot more angles, but he's very good at the flick shots. He can do a lot of close range AWPing as well, and that's what he really goes for, makes sure he surprises his enemies on off angles, flick shots all over the place, and also worth mentioning as well, his scout play. Gobby, in-game leader, already mentioned him before. In-game mastermind.
It's just not the flick shots with Chris J, it's just the consistency he can deliver them with.
Absolutely.
As well.
Well, there's the head-to-head matches. All that matters is that, actually, there is one that goes Mousesports' way, but that was a long time ago, Hitbox Arena Championship 2. The rest have all been Fnatic, quite convincingly, even as far back as Season 18. That was Invite, not even in the Pro League at that point. Haven't played each other a lot since, and that's typically because Fnatic's been near the top echelon, and Mousesports have been grinding it out just to get back into contention. PGL Season 1, they already played a few weeks ago. We do have that head-to-head, and it was 2-1. We did say that Mousesports were able to pick up a map, but let's look at the players that we've highlighted, as we do think this head-to-head is ultimately the two best players on either side.
It's a tantalizing one. Olofmeister versus Nico. It's two world-class players here, huge fragging potential. And I think this is actually a really nice matchup to look at, considering the performance we saw from Nicolino yesterday. And Olofmeister already talked about him being one of the world's best players right now. Looking at the actual matchup, though, you can see the kill-to-death ratio. Nicolino actually has him put up there a little bit. More kills, but slightly more deaths as well. But this one tonight, I think this is where it's going to matter. If Nicolino can really kick off and enter the server like he did yesterday, could see Fnatic questioning themselves a little bit.
And what has to be pointed out, Nico's born the year that I was already grinding Quake World Online. 97.
Yeah, born in 1997. That makes me
crazy.
feel so old. It's unbelievable. But
I feel old.
Yes.
You should. You should.
Oh, man.
Hey, Mr. just turned 27.
Not even.
I just turned 27.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah.
Get it right.
26.
Yes.
There we
There's
go.
a massive difference there.
Well, you're closer to 50 than when you were born.
So are you.
That's
What's
true.
Leave me alone, Natsu. Don't remind me. All right, let's do the thing we always do, predictions. We've got to go through the graphs and stats of the websites and so on and so forth. But while they do that, let's get ours out there, and we'll bring those graphics up at the end as well. Natsu, starting with you.
Yeah, 3-0 Fnatic is what I'm expecting here.
We haven't seen them. Oh, I've bit my lip there. That's not happened for a while.
Oh, man.
We haven't seen the maps yet. Obviously, that will be some sort of factor going forward. But I think Mousesports potentially could get one map. Like I said, they could batter the economy of Fnatic, and something interesting could happen there.
That
so
is
maybe
true.
3-1 I'd say.
I do normally give you guys a chance to look at the maps. So tonight we're going in blind. I'm going to go 2-0 Fnatic, ultimately 3-0, 2-0 in maps that are played because of the map in hand. Let's actually look at the maps right now before we do all the rest of it. Maybe I'll give you a chance to adjust your prediction, but I doubt it. I'll probably hold you to it. Inferno's out. Overpass is out by Fnatic, so
Yeah,
that does bring in cash first for Mousesports. That was the map they were able to pick up against them the other evening.
And Fnatic picked Train. That's the map they won 16-5 against Mousesports as well. So these are two maps we've already seen these two teams play.
Put it
That's
this way.
quite cool.
If you ask me, Cash is the one map Mousesports has any chance on, judging from previous. Train, no way. Dust 2, maybe. Cobblestone, no way. So let's put it this way. If Cash goes to Fnatic, I think it's going to be a pretty quick series here. But obviously, Cash went to Mousesports' way previously, but it's always hard to play against a team that you beat on a map, again, like a few days later, because obviously the team that's lost is really going to be ready for the tricks and things you've been doing, so you got to be able to adjust your gameplay as well.
I think you're absolutely right. If Fnatic do take Cash, this is going to be over within 2 maps, considering they have the advantage. But we saw Mousesports already take it off Fnatic, but anything could happen really because Mousesports did take that map the other day, but like we said, it was such an anomaly. I think Fnatic were winning by, I think it was 9-2, and then they started getting a little bit too cocky, I felt, and forced buying certain situations that actually managed to lose the next 5 rounds. And that's probably why I would say Fnatic won't let that happen again. This stage in the tournament is not worth throwing anything away or being a little bit too arrogant, maybe.
Not a single map that has any chance against the odds that are created with the algorithm. 77% chance to win. That's boosted significantly in the fact that Mirage is technically considered to be a win already for Fnatic. So we start on Cash. Again, we're going to stick with our predictions then. I'm going to go 3-0 Fnatic still.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any need to change. Once you've committed to something, you got to stick with it. That's the way we roll.
I'll keep things interesting. I'll say Mousesports win Cash. Say 3-1 still there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Touche. Mousesports, remember, they'll pick Cash, so they have to start T-side against Fnatic early.
I think this is a good map to start the series with as well. It doesn't heavily favor either side. It doesn't really matter which side you start with. Yep. So it's a lot of 8-7s for either side. So I think this is going to be fun to watch.
When we watched Mousesports play this the other day, they didn't really have the really crazy executions. They were just relying on rushing B, rushing A fast, for example. They didn't really do anything that's interesting, but that can work sometimes when you have the players to get in there and surprise one of the different formations. Fnatic, they're going heavy mid, for example, when you rush B. That can mean
that's when Mousesports had the most trouble, was when Fnatic was throwing a lot of different aggressiveness towards them, going aggressive door, going A main, going middle, going B, like everywhere over the map. So let's see if Fnatic is able to do that again tonight.
All right, well, we'll go through the rest of the predictions that we haven't seen yet. First and foremost, 1-6 essentially on EGB. Thank you, EGB, for being exciting. Little bit better on esports gaming. It is 1.1 to 4.5, so everyone's pretty much in agreement. I can't even see. Is that 6 something? There's no percentage sign. There's not even room for it. Yeah, I know it's a 6, guys. Math is not that hard. It's 94 off 100, leaves 6. HLTV, thank you for being at least somewhat optimistic. Twitch is as well. But Fnatic, they definitely have the favors in their fold. Is that... I'm making up sayings.
That's not a saying.
All right, I made it up. It's a saying.
You're Canadian.
Guys.
It's all right.
It's a saying.
It's probably a thing in Canada.
Maybe. That's my excuse for everything. I can't scapegoat Canada that much. Anytime anything goes wrong, it's, oh, yeah, that's what we do in Canada. My internet's Canadian. All right, well, we pretty much have set it in stone. The only one we haven't seen is that one right there. Twitch says 3-1 Mousesports. So they're with Henry G. It's not always the camp that I want to be in. If I was out,
you're not invited to.
Well, if I was out in the wilderness, I would suggest that it would probably be the first to be attacked by a lion. So that's fine. I'm good to be with Natsu.
Yeah, take down the strongest first. That's why.
I don't believe you. You're just dead.
Okay.
You're bait. It's like you guys set up your camp and I sneak over. You know, you're supposed to like camp your food away from the site so that animals aren't attracted. I just go put my food in your camp when you guys are sleeping. And then you get mauled to death at night.
This is the only context I want to be near you in. So outside this room, we're not friends.
We live together.
Not friends there.
You don't wake up till 4 o'clock. That's why I can't be your friend. I don't see you all day.
Wake up and have to come straight here. Yeah, that is a problem.
Yeah, it is. It is
affecting our relationship.
I think so. You're a little bit cranky. Your sleep patterns are all over the place.
I'm fine
Maybe
now.
I'm going to kick you out to the hotel. Natsu, can you come live with me instead?
But you're leaving.
All right.
Like tomorrow.
After
I'll be home when you're coming back.
All right, that's fine. We can still be friends, though, right?
Sure.
All right, sweet. We are going to do a giveaway today as we've reached the end of the European stage groups. It is going to be the lovely Asimov. Today's giveaway, field tested. Type raffle in chat. So great, we're going to have the raffle going all game. Chat, you've essentially been rendered useless due to the fact that this is how the giveaway works, but it's for a good cause. Exclamation point, raffle, and you get a chance to win. We'll do that at the end of the stream, which could be, if Natsu and I's predictions are correct, within only 2 maps. The first of which, Cash. We're going to jump into the server right now. Actually, we're going to slide into the server, technically.
Yeah, that was quite cool.
Yep, and then we're spinning around.
Yes, sir.
Because we like spinning around.
Like we said, though, Fnatic will have the CT side start, too. So how much does that play against Mousesports?
Like I said, it's a very, very even map. It's an 8-7 either side map, so I don't think it does that much on this one. If it was map like Inferno, that'd be horrible for Mousesports. But I think at this point, it can always be actually an advantage, or especially when you get an early good start, make it uncomfortable for the defense on this map. It can be a positive thing to start on the T side.
Henry, any thoughts from you on if Mousesports can get economy rolling, if they can limit Fnatic as they did the other evening? You've got them pegged to pick this map. How are they going to do it?
Well, they are starting. Oh, hold on. Looking at on the server right now, they are going to be starting on the T side. So that's. I think that does favour them almost. Like they do get the first pistol there. It's when we saw Fnatic make some very questionable decisions. Like I said though, when it was all on the wire tonight, they want to just make sure they close this one out. They don't want to take any chances this one could go the distance. So I don't know. I guess you've had the opportunity to watch the demos as well. Fnatic couldn't really take away much from the demos the other night, seeing as Mousesports was so underprepared. I guess there's a fair word there, but I think we'll see more fast.
At the same time, I do feel like Mousesports still has so much work to do with their own play that how much time does GOP really have to have intense amount of scouting?
It's just being able to read the formations the CT sides may offer to them. You can see, okay, this has happened at the start of the round. That normally means they're going into this setup. If you know the setups quite well and you can try and read those and you can say, okay, they normally play one person towards B in this setup, let's try and do this. That's the only thing I can think of that will actually give them the edge, but there's only so much you can do against these guys, to be honest, at Fnatic.
Yeah, I think Fnatic is the hardest team to scout to begin with because there's a lot of factors that are not written so to speak, written anywhere. It's just individual excellence from these individuals, what they do and what they decide to do, and how they just make it work. So how do you predict? How do you really read into that? Is quite impossible.
Absolutely, a lot of their gameplay is going to be down to game sense and gut feelings when they feel that they have the opportunity and they're feeling on form to actually take certain angles and push into certain areas they shouldn't be. And that's what Fnatic will always do. They'll surprise you and present you with things that you're not used to. They'll make you feel uncomfortable.
Yep.
If you're in a team that's relies so heavily on tactics and strategies and stuff, and all of a sudden you've got Olaf Meister running into an angle with a pop flash coming from his teammates. You're like, okay, well, how do we even counter that? He's out aimed me before I've even seen him.
Yep.
So that's obviously a factor.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you ask me, there's 2 different ways to approach this style of aggressiveness that Fnatic brings you. It is basically either double your speed of how you execute things, you just really fast try and go in their faces, or you just play super slow. But the problem with playing super slow is that you really leave yourself a very slim margin of error. If any variable goes in a different manner than you were expecting, you're probably screwed.
Timing is such a bomb goes down on the
Navi is a great example of that when they leave themselves such a minimum time to actually do anything. So there's no chance of just change where their plans are. If they're really committed to going A, there's no way they're going to change that plan to go to B.
Luminosity is a similar team in that sense, and as we've seen so many times, the biggest thing that hinders that is if they can stop the bomb from being planted at all, you're done. The round's over. I mean, it is one of those fragile things.
If you preserve your Molotov, for example, just to the very last moment, it's going to be that much harder.
I mean, what is the mentality there? Because ultimately, if you get the bomb down, it doesn't really change anything post-play. It's the same amount of time that's allotted to the CTs. Why not go at 30 seconds as opposed to, that 20 or 15? Or I know they're trying to leave it to the last second so that the CTs get antsy, but ultimately the execution still is going to be the same time no matter what.
If you can make them waste their nades really early, that'd be a positive thing. But the problem is when everyone knows you play really slow, that's when you really start thinking about what are you throwing and what and when. So it sort of backfires.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying last night as well. If you're going to play fast early so that it's at least ingrained in the CT's minds and they don't get too complacent to hold on to their utilities as well. Interesting to note. I mean, it is going to be something that comes into this. Mousesports is almost going to have to play this perfect. We've highlighted the players that we know have to step up, but the one we haven't really talked about a whole lot is Gobby, who's the one that's going to be making those calls, making those reads against Fnatic. That puts a lot of pressure on him to get it right and get it right early and just about every time, because they're going to need every round they can get on this T side.
Yeah, right. T side here. It's obviously get as many rounds as you possibly can. You can't really set a number on here. They're going to need a decent bed though going into the second half. They need at least more than 3, I'd say, just to give themselves an opportunity to even get started. We know the CT side was pretty good against Fnatic, but let's see, we go into the pistol now. So if you're just joining us, it's the best of 5 between Fnatic and Mousesports. Fnatic do go into this with a 1 map advantage, meaning we could only see 2 maps tonight. So Mousesports starting on the arguably the harder side, Tees, and let's have a look at their buy. We talk about them not being too much of a tactical team, and 4 players so far buying up armor. Next going to make it 5 pieces as well. It seems like they're going to be going in either for a mid push here or back to A. Actually a little bit apprehensive, sending the bomb towards B, 3 players, and a distraction towards A perhaps.
Yeah, the distraction going to be Chris J and Nico. Flush at JW though, they're in mid. Already Pronax on white truck, excuse me, but the shots as we now see are being placed against Olaf Meister. Only uses a little bit of HP there.
Yeah, pretty weird for me is that Mousesports have no nades to work with. There's a lot of choke points you would want to smoke off.
This is actually interesting because JW pushed forward to get information, and as such, Mousesports have already rotated back over to the A side. JW is going to hear that as well, but it's just a response, knowing that he's got information, anticipating that him making that call might cause a rotation toward that B site. So they'll leave next to distract, and then they go on the A site. As such, they'll get a bomb plant, but Fnatic were almost setting up early and by default just for the retake on this A site, and giving a bias to B because that site's so much harder to get back into. So this could be according to plan. Smoke off in front of Dennis to try and push forward for Pronax. He's already got 1 fire down, but gets peeked dually. And now it's all left on to Mousesports. JW again flanking aggression through mids. Worked out twice for him, but he walks in. And there's Nicolino to get the shot and the first round for Mousesports.
So there we go then. Very passive play from Fnatic there, allowing the T's to get onto the bomb site essentially onto A. They didn't have to even have the bomb there. They're holding up, trying to see whether the aggression was coming in from the CTs. But then they got the first kill onto A, allowed the bomb to get down. Very difficult retake there. And as you said, Mousesports not even having a grenade. It's doing very well to even get on the site without losing too many men.
Yeah, it's a viable strategy for the CTs play as passive as they did. A side on cash is actually very retakeable, but this time doesn't work out.
Now, the monster back has come in from Fnatic. They have brought up Armor and CZ's first frag going in the favor of Chris J though.
Chris J, by the way, make note, also just using that Tech 9 up close because he's got the Scout, and we always talk about how much impact he can have with it. He's going to have guns to complement it. This time he doesn't have to rely on getting early tags and allow the pistols a chance. And with JW down, despite that next Gobby and Chris have all been tagged up, they still have map control and the man advantage to work with. No one on the A side again. Fnatic looking to give that up. Next, and Dennis is going to rotate back toward mid. Flush is going over in that A direction, just preemptively hoping that we'll catch them in the act, be able to shut them down on their way through. They are slowly looking in that direction, which is still correct with Crims, Olaf, and Pronax stacked on top of B. So Chris, they're going to cover every angle, check lockers on the way through, and in they go. So Flusha, what can he do from the slide position? As soon as that door opens up, he's going to know it's on to A. Flash comes out. That's actually a little bit misthrown because Chris J's caught by that. Instead, Molotov off on quad. Make sure no one's in that position, and forward they go. Flusha's backed out of it because he's going to wait for his teammates to come and go for a proper rotation. So smarts from Flusha right now. Does mean that the bomb goes down for free.
And this is the point where Fnatic needs to work out. Do we try and save our armor here, go for some exits? There's a lot of the retakes actually be coming in too thick and fast here. Next does take out Olaf. 5 on 3. This is where I think they're probably going to be saving those extra pistols.
That's why Flusha was all as well. He was falling back because he knew there's nothing he could really do in this situation.
Yeah, which I think was the right call from him. Got some decent damage off, gave some opportunities from good exits here. But they will be saving 3 pistols. Crims and Flusha with armor. Flusha with a head armor as well, so definitely wanted to stay alive in that situation. Pronax only has a PT-50, so yeah, perhaps he could risk dying there. It's not really too valuable with a PT-50. So those guys will survive. And we go into round number 3, but a pretty clean round from Mousesports, very methodical take, and made sure they didn't actually drop any men there, waited for enough time.
Yeah, and without even having a lot of knowledge really what Fnatic was throwing at them, so they obviously had maybe a feel that there was going to be a stack in B, which was correct. hitting that A side with only Flusha in there.
Well, like we said, 2 players for Fnatic are going to be saving those pistol and armor. Once again, going into more of aggressive B play this time. Crim's going for that early face with the other Eagles. They're going to have Dennis waiting for him as well. Dennis maybe overfacing a little bit. Does take down Crim's though. And neutralizes this threat. 5-on-4. JW going to be taken down in the hands of Nex as well.
Yeah, so mid already lost. JW's been trying to play that position. Look for him to continue to do so once he has weaponry to work with, which will come not too long from now in the next round, in fact, as Chris J spotted Pronax. I don't think he realized that he's gone over to a locker. Excellent shot by Olofmeister, though. Deagle out to take down Dennis. Gives them at least 1 kill against the economy of this growing Mousesports side. But Nico's got Pronax, and they'll walk again toward mid. Chris J already preset. Spots Flush's shoulder. Holds the fire. Goes for a second shot early, and Flush is going to take down Nico. So now they're losing all kinds of men because Flush has got Godby on the cross as well. Bombs dropped. They have to recover it. He may have just bought themselves enough time, and no more nades because Flush is low. But they can't possibly hope to get him. Next is going to wait for that crossover from Olofmeister. That's smartly done because, again, if Flusha gets 1 more kill and Olof shows up, problems ensue for Mousesports. This round came out of nowhere. But Flusha on 1 HP. Might just be all in vain. Flusha, what a shot as he picks up that AK in mid.
He got the doubles play down
That round didn't come from nothing. It came from Flusha. But Nex also a very, very smart play there. Because just waiting at CT connector for that rotation from Olofmeister. He could probably hear him pretty early on as well. Basically making it that much harder for Fnatic to win that eco round. But Flusha just almost single-handedly with that CZ.
Well, we mentioned it before about the economy being a factor for Fnatic here. This time they go into no AWPs, no kits, no head armor. Obviously, that's not too much of an issue against AKs, but utility as well. No incendiary. So this is a huge round for Mousesports. If they can win this one, they really do get off to a fantastic start here. But not going to be taking things too quickly. Once again, taking control of the B storage area. Just trying to get any sort of information they can gather here. But Olofmeister is going to be waiting for them.
It's all rifles against each other here, and Olofmeister's forward uses the smoke and flash perfectly. He'll fall back now and rely on Crims to bail out that second entry point. He takes down Nex, and that's perfect. Fnatic are so good on that bomb site. Those 2 players in tandem are almost impenetrable. As Pronax will find Nico, it's left to just Chris J, who manages 1, but that's all he will get. Flawless first gun round, essentially. I won't say entirely. They did lose 1 member, but that hold was perfect.
Yeah, that strategy of going through the smoke and pulp flashing through there into B is a viable strategy. When a CT happens to be playing up close, didn't happen, and all of my Crims just mopping the floor with Mousesports, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the partnership I spoke about before the game started, and it comes to fruition that round. So pretty exciting stuff for them. As we go into round number 5 now, a huge round for Fnatic to win in this context of the economy, at least.
Absolutely, and Chris J's got the scout back up, but look at the push from Flusha. 1 down, 1 tagged significantly. Nico on 4 HP, and next, he's gone. Flusha follows this up. He's not stopping. He's relentless, looking for the 4th in the round, and he'll get it. Only 1 kill went elsewhere.
So this is where Fnatic get rolling now. They start building up the bank. The incendiaries are bought. They have full utility, AKs in hand, the Pronax as well. So Chris J is going to be buying the AWP, the first time we've seen it this game, but this is where Fnatic got decent spawns, Flusha especially. We know he likes to push into the squeaky door quite a lot of the time, and I'm not really sure there's much you can do to really shut him down. He did it last round as well. And he's got that very strong spawn this time. Interesting to see when he does. It looks like he actually may be going straight over there as well. Straight in. Fearless play, and gets flashed off as well.
Olofmeister in the corner again. We saw him work this in the first gun round. Flash comes out and the peek comes in. This time it's not self-thrown. It's Crims to support it. Either way, it's Fnatic with the man advantage, and Fnatic looking absolutely undoubtedly in the control in the class of the two teams right now.
This is going to be a problem for Mousesports going further away. They're going to get scared contesting that B side with this kind of dominance from Olofmeister and Crims on that side early on in the match.
Oh, and that's the dominance that has so many tales of legacy, I guess you could say, because every single time anyone tries to go against them, it's always a problem. Look for them at some point as well if they feel like they have time to go for the skylight boost as well. But you're right, Nico's got some interesting information here. He's made it out into the A site. He's holding directly on top of Flusha, who's at the top of Highway. So if he can get his teammates in, if they can use some utilities to force Godby over with that bomb, they might just get the plant, but Flusha's up to the task, and he's gotten both. Bomb dropped, Flusha with 2, Olofmeister finding Nex trailing behind it. JW's fast on the flank. He's low on HP, so Dennis will get him. But this round, again, looks like it's definitely in control by Fnatic. He's picked up the M4. This may suggest he's expecting more of a push. But I can't imagine with 20 seconds he's even considering going for this. He doesn't have bomb. This M4 is just for self-defense, and then he'll grab the op if he can. But Flush has already pushed forward in a position, so that's out of reach now for Dennis. He may have to just give that up and stick with the M4, and he may not even get that far. Crim's going to find him from middle, and we're already tied on 3s.
Fnatic, such a scary team to play when they have all the weaponry, when they have the self-confidence going for them. You see a lot of teams doing similar pulp flash and go pick kind of play that all of Meister and Crims do towards B there. But just the amount of frags they manage to actually get with that is just immense.
Yeah, you may be able to try and mimic what they do, but you're never going to have the same skill to pull them off. That's what the difference is. It's not very technical, but it's just so strong compared to other players in terms of their aims. Going to force Mousesports now onto another eco. JW getting some early action here. Olof does take down Dennis. We're getting got beat. 5 on 3 now. As it seems like the Mousesports team do start to fall apart.
Pronax, though, looking to come back over and support Flush, but realizes as he gets that kill on Chris J, there's no need to. So down goes Nico, and up goes the score. Fnatic now have the lead.
I think I have an idea of how Mousesports could maybe shake Fnatic's defense. That would be trying to have an early contest in middle. If you get a pick, then wait out the clock a bit and try to do like a fake towards A and try to make that one guy only play it. Make it sure that it's not all of Meister and Crims playing that B side and try to hit it after.
Yeah, that's the thing. So you can pull players away from A pretty easy. It's normally Flush that'll leave Pronax on the site. So maybe they can try and, like you said, work some play, get some attention elsewhere, maybe get an early pick. Be the best way for them. There we go. That's the pick we wanted.
Yeah. Now, quiet down, wait for a bit to make your move.
But now it's up to the CTs to get a frag back here. They need to get back into this game, get some info, at least get some idea of where the T's may be lying. See, the bomb currently is towards the Squeaky Door area. And Pronax has pushed up into A storage as well. He's going to be by the lockers there.
It's not a bad spot to be at all right now. Pronax has this information, looks at the shot, continued on spraying, almost next walking into it, but still he has the response kill. AW, though, he's not going to allow that exactly. More importantly, bomb down, and still has Flusha set up with a crossfire from that fence position. No utilities aside from one Molotov on Nico will move him, and Nico's got JW, but Flusha's back there, and he's not moved. They haven't done anything about it.
Look at Flusha, 15-0-2 after what on the 9th round right now.
When you watch him as well, it's such calm gameplay. He knows exactly what he has to do for his perfect flashbangs and finds 1 or 2 frags against himself so easily as well. So he holds the angle, any angle, it seems like he able to rip the heads off of Mousesports there. So very well played from Flush so far.
You could say he's won with the game right now.
Right, somehow, every position he's in, he seems
zoning
to find perfect
so well.
flashbangs and then finding great spray downs. And it's great to watch so far. So 5 in a row now for Fnatic. It's going to force Mousesports into a quasi buy here as we get a couple of AKs, Tech 9s, a couple of smoke grenades, and you can see all 5 players committed to the A side. So simple smokers and pop flashes to execute.
Execution looks swift so far. Flusha again, add 2 more to his total. One of which was with fire. Man's just a demon right now. He doesn't even need guns. He'll just use dark magic.
He doesn't even need to be alive anymore, and he's killing people.
Yeah, insane stuff. 6 rounds. They've doubled his total, and it's 6 in a row, which will give the loss round bonus, to Mousesports. But the kills, that's insane. 17. He's got more than almost the enemy team has combined. Take that back. They have 20, but that's close enough.
So yeah, what a performance has been so far. Now JW with the AWP, he's going to be holding just straight towards middle still. It means he can just hold that area by himself. And once again though, Mousesports heading towards the B storage, and they actually open up the fragging onto Flusha. That's going to be a kill onto A. Bomb's going to be there as well. Crims answers back, but Flusha alone once again. Sorry, Pronax alone once again. Flusha is the one that went down.
Finally, which is perhaps a bit of confidence to work with on Mousesports' side. As next, he's been working this B site time and time again, trying to find an opening for his team. He'll continue to do it. This time he's got a bit of company. In fact, they're going to swap that over. So Chris J, we just saw throw that bomb back to next. He'll take a turn. He'll take the lead with the AWP. But speaking of Flusha, that is so desperately close. Chris J, meanwhile, we didn't see it off screen, did find Olaf Meister. So the pressure is on Crims, who's found 2 in return. It is the 2 we talked about as well. And not only that, the bomb down. So Crims doing just enough for Fnatic. Gabi wants to try and get back in, popping a flash off the wall, trying to get around the corner, but JW's joined in on the party. And as soon as JW does find this angle, it should be game over, and there it is.
The scary thing about Fnatic as well is the fact that even though there's a lot of action on one bomb site and the other players that don't see a lot of action, in a normal situation, so to speak, players may get cold, but these guys, they don't, like, they can battle with anything. It could be 5 rounds without any action, and they'll come in and just take a 3-man easy.
So then, going into round number 11 now, Fnatic definitely have found the momentum after losing the pistol. They've converted every single round after those initial 3. And looking at their buys right now, it's going to be a horrible proposition to try and take them down. Once again, all 5 players from Mousesports heading towards A. You would assume with this buy, there's another simple strategy. Drop a smoke, pop flash through, and see what you can do. But you can see their flusher is very close, and we'll be hunting them down here.
The timing, again.
Perfect from Flusha. Another 2 kills to his total. Olafmeister getting Chris J off site, which means that JW just has to hold now. This door already open, not able to hit the shot immediately on Nico, who gets back into position for more, but I don't think he really wanted to pull an Oliver Twist and ask for more in this situation because it's all Fnatic dishing it out right now, 8-3.
So, once again, max round bonus coming in here. Chris J picks up the AWP. Have been able to get a couple of opening picks here, but not able to capitalize since pistol round.
This round, though, that double flash in that A main was it was beautiful. They flashed once into A main for Flusha, but they actually didn't commit to the push, which Mousesports thought, all right, now we can go. But then there was a second flash that came in, and Flusha got those 2 easy kills.
This game is slipping away from Mousesports now. Look pretty locked out, purely based on frags. Last 8 rounds, let's see what they can do here. Not so much aggression this time from Fnatic. They'll be holding back a little bit more. Some more presence towards middle. JW does take down Nico, one of the strongest players on Mousesports there.
Solid shots as well. JW looking for more of it, but finally something to work with here. And more than that, they've got JW down to 13. He needs to be so careful. More nades thrown in his direction. He's able to dodge them in behind Ticket Booth. And not to mention, he's got Flusha to help support, but Chris J getting Olafmeister puts Crims alone again in this B site. And with mid control, they try and go through the vents. Not only that, they overlooked the site. This all fell apart. Mousesports, that's lackluster. When they went to the vents, JW found the first kill, and Crims with a triple on the B site.
Why did they assume the B side was
I
completely
don't
clear?
know.
Chris Jade is just so committed to CT spawn at that stage.
That's what I would call tunnel visioning.
Yeah, like he said, okay, there's no chance anyone's at B side. Why? You haven't checked it at all.
Yeah.
And
hold
Crims
on.
has been there every
Yeah,
round.
you would know at this point that Crims and all of mine are the 2 players. That play B-bomb side and Crims still being alive would probably make sense. He's on the site.
Yeah, so at least check it, surely, before, like, if they'd have killed him, that could have been the round over for them. So,
Unless Chris was hoping that the second man in would be more effective to hold him in place. But
oh, Jesus, that was a
Hello.
shot from hell there. Chris J takes down the AWP in middle. 4-on-4 though. Olafmeister does reply. You see the fullback now, they've worked out it's Anika, but there are 3 AKs on the map as well. So you need to be careful they don't show too much aggression here.
Chris J again with this deagle. He's always the man that seems to be using the odd guns, even though he's the AWP player. The off gun, we see him with the scout when everyone has pistols. He's got the deagle here when everyone's bought up. And he's already made good use of it. Next on the board as well, Flusha though, getting back into Chris J. Nico back into Flusha, leaves Crims, who's rotated around. Mr. Efficient, always late in the rounds. That's one thing Crims is always known for, being efficient. And it shows again here, leaves them in a 2 versus 2.
I think it's easily, if not the best, one of the top 3 small bomb side players in the world. He's so good at it.
Always good for 1 or 2 frags. Does his role perfectly.
The way he positions himself and the composure is just excellent.
Crims though searching for the last 2 remaining players. Gets next, low HP, and perhaps fortunately so because he got the drop on Crims. So that duel could have gone the other way, and if it had, it might give a chance to Gobby. 1 versus 1, bomb still planted, and they want in. Pronax knows where he is, knows he's low, and he'll go above to secure the kill. Mom, you've already walked over it though, sir. Thank God it wasn't ticking away desperately.
So 10 rounds in a row for Fnatic. Looks like Mousesports don't really have an answer to what's going on here. And to be fair, it's not like Fnatic are doing anything crazy complicated. Just a little bit of aggression when it's obvious what Mousesports are doing.
I mean, Mousesports is putting themselves in situations when there's opportunities to actually pick up these rounds, but it's just Fnatic being... Wow, as Chris J just destroys JW in the replay. It's just Fnatic coming huge in all the late round situations and winning all these 2-on-2s and having Crims kill 3 guys, lonesome in B. So, I mean, it just comes to the smallest of details what the difference is right now between the teams, even though it's been 10 in a row for Fnatic.
So a change of pace here. Fnatic actually adjusting their setup for the last 2 rounds. Double AWP setup, taking an AWP towards B. That could be problematic.
Could be. We'll see if that pays off to be the case or not. Shot from Nico. successful against Pronax to give the man advantage finally toward Mousesports. They still want this mid control, though. They're trying to get through onto JW's position, and another smoke deployed on top of that garage will give JW a bit more to breathe with. Dennis and Nex on B as Nico searches A. And the push, Flusha all the way up at that long hallway. We could just see it in the X-ray. Olofmeister has smokes to contend with, one in front and one immediately further beyond that at the doorway.
Flusha getting so much information.
What he doesn't account for, though, is Nico at the locker position. They'll go by each other silently, so neither will know the other is there. But again, JW will be able to cordon off the offensive side of Mousesports, who are losing numbers rapidly. Gobby left, and he's going to try and get to Nico. There it is. Flusha came all the way around. Nico couldn't call that. Gobby would have thought it was safe to get there. And Nico now left in 1 versus 4. He's going to try and come back down through middle. If Olofmeister doesn't check the highway, it's going to work out in Nico's favor. But what? He hits it with that? A no-scope when he peeks out. If this nade lands, it would just be the most stylish way to show someone up. That nade will get him, but that was insane by Olofmeister.
In that kind of run, I think Nico needs to be more aggressive. He needs to have more impact. He needs to be making sure that he's being noticed on the side to avoid the situation where Flush is just randomly going to stroll through that door and go for a flank. And at the same time, maybe get a cheeky little pick, first kill on the side as well to cause a rotation from the CTs, have them have less attention towards B, and that's going to make it that much easier for you to hit that B side.
Last round, let's just try a rush, lads. Let's just see what happens. Like, this is
YOLO.
not working for them. This is getting the side as quickly as we possibly can. I think, yeah, here we go. They're actually going to give that a go as well. Let's jump through. Let's hope for the best.
And the best is working still for Fnatic. It does come back. Nico manages to pick up Flusha. Now they've got a chance, but bomb goes down. As Pronax, he'll play the devil's advocate this time and allow Fnatic another bit of breathing room to finally pick up 11, make it 12 rounds at the half. Shot from Olofmeister on the AWP, and Dennis is gone. Chris J, last alive, as an AK. He's actually gone for the flank. He's got through middle and gotten behind. Crims is looking that direction. Crims is gone. Chris J has a chance, but Olofmeister's firmly fixed his focus on that direction, and down he goes.
Ooh, 12 rounds in a row. You hate to see it happen. They looked pretty convincing from Mousesports at the start. Winning that pistol round, converting 2 rounds after that as well. Thought, okay, great. It's exactly what they needed. Yeah. They can find some footing here, but I think their approach the other day when they actually were looser and just going for more of those rushes and surprising, trying to just play their percentages and hoping the stacks would go in their favors. Yeah. That seemed more promising.
I don't think they had enough confidence in the kind of structured play that they wanted to run right now. They need to have Nico, like I said, pointed out that second to last round, he needs to be more aggressive towards that other bomb site when the other part of the team is attacking the other. Things like that, just it's very small details just make a difference.
Very similar setup to the pistols here from both teams. You see Fnatic sending 2 players towards A, and the CT is actually trying to gain some information there. You can see it's going to be Chris J scouting towards Toxic.
It's a trap.
It's a good position. If you can stay there, though,
yep,
that's perfect. Don't need to do anything else.
But
right, though, Chris J, he's got the first kill. Pronax Flusha, though, immediately counter off that early aggression. Gobby and Nico rotating over to compensate for it, but this allows Crims and Pronax to get up in middle and toward the white card. Dennis is still inside that A site. He may actually catch them off guard, but not able to land the shot. So 2 more kills go Crims' way. And poor old Nicolino, the star of last night's performance, cannot do much at all about the power of Fnatic.
I think Chris J he should have been more patient there. Before there's any notification of the bomb being there,
exactly.
as the teammates can see that on the radar, no point for him to just rush out there.
Before a frag is even being exchanged, he moved his position. Like
I understand. You know, they're like overreacting in this situation. Is understandable. They're humans after all. But a bit of patience would have won him a lot there.
Well, now 2 Mac 10 to Fnatic. You can see the full force buy coming in from Mousesports there. Deagles, armor purchase. Have got a smoke as well, can hold off some T's, but all of Fnatic will be heading towards the A bomb side. Nico opening it up though. He's going to get locked down by Olofmeister as he tries to exit out the squeaky door. Next, great headshot, and they're making this round competitive at least.
Competitive is a start. They need to keep that trend going a long way right now if they want any chance of getting back into cash. The map that you pegged them, Henry, to potentially take away, as they did just 4 nights or 3 nights ago, I suppose, as it is. And Olofmeister, he's not going to allow it this time. Gobby getting another shot with, in fact, 2 with the Deagle. But Crims holds on, and 1 man alive out of the 10 that started the round. It's 2 rounds to go for Fnatic.
So 14-3. Obviously forced back into that round leaves Mousesports absolutely nothing to play with. They've got 2 options here. Go for the draw or try and win this round out. And they're still contemplating it now. You can see no one's really forcing this too much, and they probably looks like they will actually play the long game here and hope they can potentially win this with some 5-7s and P250s, but left himself enough cash at least to have Famous' next round and start the long campaign. After needing 12 rounds in a row, Olaf must just hit on Chris JW, and JW gets Dennis to open things up.
Slow it down. Watch this push, though. Pronax is going to hear Nico to his right side. Well, you got a question if he did. Now he does. He's looked back. He knows Nico's rotated all the way over to B. So when they have the bomb down, he'll call for that flank. Crims will be the man that should turn around, although hasn't. Just now does. Okay. Starting to wonder, Crims. I'm still starting to wonder. We're going to watch JW find next to the off man, and nearly losing his life in the process does. But Nico's waiting for exits, and I imagine they're not going to head toward him because, again, Pronax made this call. I'm a bit surprised Crims didn't go on the hunt sooner. Unless Pronax wasn't sure of himself. Might be the only reason, as Nex looks to try and do damage. They'll turn back, get this kill, but if they overextend themselves here and stay around too long, Olafmeister could lose his life. Going to get just far enough away.
It just feels to me like Fnatic has found this god mode that no one has an answer to right now. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see them going into Dubai pretty soon, where pretty much the top 8 in the world, more or less, is going to be competing to see if that is actually true in that context.
Well then, now it looks like a very fast, heavy mid strat coming in from Fnatic. For a lot of smokes over there, and you'd assume they're going to boost up, but actually going to be sending majority of players full on A push now, it seems like, and Nico pushing in, trying to counter them. He gets through the smoke, undetected as well. He could do something big here.
Dennis, though, is going to do something bigger. Take down Crims. Fnatic have to respond and do. Flusha, Pronax, JW all coming in with the kills. Pronax tries to go above, but taken down by Chris J. So this brings it back to a one-on-one, and Chris J with his scout, his customary weapon, the best in the world potentially with it, is going to have to be at his absolute sharpest. Flusha, meanwhile, showing off a little bit of flair, tries to drop out that pistol as a means of distraction to try and carry this game further, though. Chris J needs to find Flusha now as he plants this bomb. And when it goes down, Flusha will go on the hunt again with the AK. He's looking toward Highway because he knows Chris J has not made his presence known again from the truck, so he thinks it's going to be a rotation. That may work in Chris's favor, who just spots up the arm of Flusha going back around the corner. So he knows he's running into that corner, and Flusha's got no idea that Chris has come this far forward, but still can't find him as he's in the corner, and when he shoots, he can't land the shot. So therefore, Fnatic wrap it up 16-3. That's a rather dominant victory.
Flusha, 27 frags.
16 rounds in a row, boys.
Yeah, that's
pretty crazy.
I would call that domination.
What
would you call that?
Just humiliation, maybe. Or, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually really positively looking forward to that match after Mousesports won that pistol round. I felt, okay, this could be a decent half. We could be looking at like 7-ish rounds for them, and then we'll have a competitive first map. But Fnatic had other thoughts, basically, and just destroyed Mousesports left and right. They had nothing going for them in the end.
It seems like Mousesports are a lot more rigid tonight as well. Like yesterday, they were very loose, relying on Nicolino, giving him all that space to do what he wanted. It seems like he was almost on the leash tonight. They weren't actually allowing him to do what he wanted to do.
It's the fact that they're playing Fnatic tonight. Yesterday, they were playing a team from, they're not as good. It's simple put. So it's just the fact that you're playing this kind of a team. It also it gets in your head, but also the approach from the team is going to be a bit different.
We'll look at the scoreboard, but this now does mean that it's 2-0 in the series, as they did have a map in hand, meaning they could wrap it all up on Train. We'll find that out in a minute's time, but you said it. Flusha, 27 kills. That is remarkable considering we only played 19 rounds.
Yeah. He's my shot caller as well. Let's go.
Do I have him? I think I do. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. God damn it.
My shot caller's going mid. That's what we needed, Henry. Come on. Keep going.
Well, let's not dwell on that thought for too long. By the way, he didn't have the best KDA. It was Crims, only died 5 times, 3.53.
I have him too.
That's also remarkable. Oh, well, aren't you fancy? I've got one of the two. I don't know which. Let's move forward. Take a glance at the rest of the statistics. The heat map more specifically. I think it's pretty obvious Fnatic didn't need to do a whole lot on their terrorist side.
No, I mean, they didn't even have to go middle once, did they?
No, they just won the pistol, won a couple of anti-ecos, and rushed A.
Look how forward the kills are that Mousesports were getting on their side as well toward mid. Even that
same
A-long
time,
pushing at B. So Fnatic putting a lot of pressure on in their CT.
Exactly, yeah. That's what we're going to really take out of the Mousesports heat map is that a lot of the action in B was actually outside of the B side, not so much in the B side.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. I think that red line at the bottom is pretty crazy as well. 16 after the 3 lost. Looking at the MVP, we don't need to introduce him. We've already said enough. It is Flusha, 27 kills in 19 rounds.
unbelievable.
What can be said?
The
This guy.
first, after that pistol round, he was so strong on that A-bomb. So just making sure, even when he's left alone there, really simple, well-placed flashbangs, controlled spray downs, and it was a pleasure to watch in this textbook.
He's found such a comfort zone when he's playing right now. It's like anything he does seems to just work out. All these timings, everything. It's just beautiful to watch when a player gets into that zone.
He's definitely been the most, I think, hyped players of late. We've been talking a lot about Olaf Meister. Flusha kind of trailed off at the start of the year. He's back into form now. There's no question.
Yeah.
We also are going to look at one specific play he made that was, very, very clever, creative. You could call it just efficient, smart. It was the double flash on round 11.
Yeah, let's call this. It's going to be educating for people that play matchmaking or whatever.
This is why these rounds are brilliant to watch, because there's just so many simple things you can
there's
point out.
nothing super exciting happening here before. It's just going to be Mousesports looking to execute pretty directly towards that A bomb side. But this is where it gets funny here. Flusha first flashes from himself, actually, and then they're flashing from Mousesports, and they're flashing from Fnatic, and they just did totally blind of Flusha. It goes and mops that attack.
Second flash almost didn't make it through the door either, so it's almost good that they were pushed up, but
it's because the whole point is that first flash and then nothing happening just baited Mousesports to actually execute and go towards the A main.
Well, at least when I was playing, when we were going towards the A storage area, you had one person with his back turned by the big box there, just in case. That's quite a common tactic, right? You have one person there just ready for that, and you have two players facing.
Yep.
So you've got two players waiting for they push in, and you have the guy with his back turned. As soon as he hits a flash, he turns around and reacts. That's the way we used to play.
Yep.
Maybe
especially in CS Source, I guess it was because in Source the flashes were what they were, right?
Much more AP, right? So that's why I'd prefer in that setup. But you've got three guys almost rendered useless in that situation when you're going into it. So I'd prefer having one guy just ready for that. It's a read. I think. It's
usually the way my teams have done it is the first guy that goes in is just going to grind through the beside the wall with his back turned towards the box, and there's a guy further back that's going to be watching that angle.
Well, let's take a break, take a breather. I know Mousesports are going to go ahead and bandage their wounds before they try and do battle again. Fnatic have a chance to punt this in 2 maps. We'll be back on train in just a minute's time. They're already in the servers, so literally just a minute's time.
On as well, basically making it that much harder for Fnatic to. Didn't happen, and all of my circumstances just mopping the floor.
Really shut him down. He did it last round as well. He's got that very strong spawn this time. Holds it, any angle, it seems like he's able to direct the heads off Mousesports there. So very well played from Flusha so far.
You could say he's won the timing again.
Perfect from Flusha. Another 2 kills to his total. Try and go through the vents. Not only that, they overlooked the site. This all fell apart. Mousesports, that's lackluster. When they went to the vents, JW found the first kill, and Crims with a triple kill manages to pick up Flusha. Now they've got a chance, but bomb goes down. As Pronax, he'll play the devil's advocate this time and allow Fnatic another.
Yeah, I understand. You know, they're like overreacting in this situation is just understandable. They're humans after all.
Play the long game here and hope they can potentially win this.